AFTV, Dan Potts in the building. What a win, Dan.
Wow, it was incredible, wasn't it? I mean, listen, that's the best atmosphere I've seen this season. I've got to say, the fans big up to themselves.
It was electric in there, wasn't it?
It was electric, and do you know what was funny? I looked up and it said 39 minutes, and I realised the Liverpool fans were still there. I mean, it was unbelievable. They finally started making a bit of noise. Really disappointed at the end of the first half. I've got to say that, because like...
What was give me your feeling, right? Because I haven't been that deflated for... I'm like, how can we, after playing so well, go and let these men back in this game? I was very worried at that stage.
Three things why we making mistakes still. Secondly, there was no way Liverpool deserved that. Absolutely no way. We had to kick it in ourselves to give them a goal. And I think thirdly, because we played so well in that first half, man. We controlled it, we dominated from start to finish in that first half. And I've got to be brutally honest with you, Rob. I think Klopp would have sat there and gone, right, 1-0, we'll take that for now. Because this could be worse. Because Saka missed a chance, if you remember, in the first half with a header. I think Klopp would have thought, you know what, this should be made 2, maybe 3. So let's just get in at 1-0. I don't think he could believe his luck, mate. I mean, he must be thinking, well, this is the last time I'm going to be at the Emirates for a long time. Maybe they're going to allow us to gift me something before I leave. Do you know what I mean? Because that was really disappointing. And I went on the concourse and everyone was like, this ain't going to happen, is it? This ain't going to happen. And I thought the only reason it'll happen is if Arsenal turn up in the second half. And we did that. We absolutely did that. And one thing I've got to say, before we kicked off, I was really happy with the team lineup. Really happy for the pure fact that we had Jorginho in there.
So a lot of people, like we was doing the starting 11 in the studio, and all of us said, put Jorginho in there.
100%.
He gives a level of control in these type of games. And that's exactly what he did, didn't he?
100%. All the previews I had on my channel, went on other people's channel, I said, play Jorginho. A few people went, really? I said, mate, we need him. I don't want to be seeing Havertz or Smith Rowe in this game. Just in this game, you could look at other options if you want in other fixtures. But against Man City, without Thomas Partey, we had Jorginho in there and he played well. And what that does is it complements Declan Rice to allow him to bomb it forward in the 8. And it also complements Martin Ødegaard, who I thought was great today in terms of his work rate, his press. And I think the complement, we had a real complementary trio last season with Xhaka and Partey. We haven't been able to replicate that yet. This is the closest we've got to that, I feel, with Jorginho in that 6, because he literally controlled that game. For me, he was my man of the match. I thought he was really good in everything that he did. So I was really impressed by that. Declan Rice, also a very good game. And I think that what that allowed us to do was control the second half. And I've got to say, bro, Liverpool didn't really have a sniff, did they? No. I mean, I look at Liverpool's performance, I think they'll be really disappointed with themselves, because there was one team that come to win this today. And there's been a lot of Liverpool fans. Luckily, I know quite a lot of Liverpool fans that are quite humble. They're like, I come here today, I'm a bit nervous, it's always hard at the Emirates. There's a lot of them that were like, we're going to blitz you.
Listen, last night I met a load of them, man, and every one of them
was giving it to you.
Said, every single one said they're going to win. Yeah. Every single one. And listen, I understand it. They've been on fire. Which is fair enough. You know?
Listen, I didn't predict us to win the game today. I thought it'd be a draw, right? I thought it would. But when I looked at it, I thought to myself, actually, there's one team's come out to play. Absolutely, and it was Arsenal. And I think, there are a few fans out there get a bit cocky. I understand it. They're confident. They've lost one game, and that was to VAR. Let's be real, right? So I understand why they're. I think Graham was speaking to me earlier that it's like 16 games unbeaten or something Liverpool have had, right? So obviously it was going to be confident going into this one. And I understand why Arsenal fans might have walked into this one thinking, I don't know that we guaranteed a result here, but actually when you look at it, we deserved it big time, man. And what does that result mean? I'm going to ask you. What does that result mean now?
Back in it.
We're back in it.
Back in the race.
And I'm going to ask you this. Do you prefer, right, and obviously there's a long way to go, but do you prefer that maybe, or do you think it may suit Arsenal
I think so.
to be that team that probably when if they speak to any expert today or tomorrow, they're going to say City or Liverpool still, right? And then they're going to say, we give Arsenal a glimmer, and then Arsenal will be that team sort of probably running in around third, second from now till the end of the season. Does that suit Arsenal to maybe see if it can come on the rails later down on the line, rather than last season where we were ahead and we had all that pressure on our heads?
Well, listen, the last few seasons, it hasn't just been last season. We've been the ones, Arsenal get top 4, we failed. Arsenal do well in that Europa League, we failed. Arsenal win that title, we failed. And now, we're not the favourites to win it. We're not the favourites to win the Champions League. And I'll give you a weird analogy, right? I'm a big Formula 1 fan, and it's weird that Lewis Hamilton was mentioned more on transfer deadline day than anybody else, right? But I'll give you an analogy. When he first came into Formula 1, I was a big fan of him, right? And in 2007, it was him and Alonso. Who's going to win it? Him and Alonso. Who won it that year? Kimi Räikkönen. He come and snuck up behind them. Maybe Arsenal have to do that, because at the moment people are looking at Liverpool and Man City and they're not really giving us a sniff. And I understand why. I think it's harsh for the media to look at Arsenal and go, I don't think they're going to win it. I don't think that's out of order. I don't think that's harsh, because I think when you look at what Arsenal have done, they've kind of failed at a few challenges already this season. But we didn't fail at Man City here, and we ain't failed at Liverpool here. And they're the two big games that people might now look at and go, do you know what? When it matters, they have still got a little bit of saying about them. I don't know what it is, but we've got something that we can actually pull together. And I saw that today through most of the players out there. You know, players that have been underperforming in the last few games. I looked at Ben White, for example. I thought he was really good today. You know, a player that I've looked at this season, I love him, but I'm like, come on, man, I need to see more from you. Martinelli, another player today who absolutely skinned Liverpool. And pretty much, Konaté got himself sent off because he got so frustrated. Gomez on a booking today. So Saka and Martinelli, fair play to them. You know, they've both got their goals, and people are looking at Saka and Martinelli saying they're not really on form this season. No, they're probably not, but they've scored today. And Martinelli's got what, 3 in the last 2 games, is it? 3 in the last 3 games? So listen, there's a lot of people now might look at Arsenal in games like this and think, do you know what, they can't turn it on when it matters. And the pressure, it ain't really on, in my opinion, because I don't think anyone's looking at Arsenal right now. When last season it was on, it was like, don't mess it up, Arsenal. Don't mess it up. What was it, Man City? There's that blue shark. I don't want any blue sharks behind me this time. I'm quite happy to be looking up. As long as we are within touching distance of it come May, then we have a big chance. But listen, long way to go. That doesn't mean we're going to win the title, Rob, by any means. But what it does mean is that we put ourselves right back in the mix, man.
What was that you said about Havertz at the Havertz what?